now we've got the person you've all come here to see. She was the winner of Willamette Week's Best Comedian back in 2020, and she's your headliner tonight. So make some noise now for Melina Best.
Thank you all so much for coming. Give it up for yourselves. And thank you to the theater for letting us have the show. Keep it going for Kristen and Molly. And then wait a second while I drink something.
Stay hydrated.
Okay. How y'all doing tonight? Good. Don't really care. My pronouns are anxious. Thanks for respecting that. When I was a kid, I had really nice curly hair, and people would come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, I would die for your hair." I'd be like, "Okay, but seems like a win-lose to me." You'd be dead, and I'd have the hair. I'm the winner. Yeah, death is a funny thing like that. My last job was in the dining industry. I was a server at a old folks home. They love that joke. In fact, some of them died laughing. I hope. What a way to go. I told that joke once at a show, and a woman was like, "Oh, dying industry, I get it, because they're dying." Yeah, yep. Well, you're keeping up there. I feel like my tendency to feel dead inside is what helped me win the hearts of the residents. And vice versa. In fact, at least 2 residents told me they were going to write me into their wills. And I thought to myself, don't tempt me. And I was scared by my own thought, which is why you sometimes don't act on your thoughts. So out loud, I was like, "Can we do this while you're still lucid?" But no such luck. I've visited a handful of times since I quit, and I know at least one of them is still alive. Gene, come on. It's your friend Melina. Worth it. I was taking my time getting to the table one day on purpose. And the resident said to her table mate about me, "Well, she's mentally challenged." Little did I know, I was going there to get paid and get medically diagnosed. On Valentine's Day, a resident asked if he could give me a tip, not medical diagnosis. And I was like, "I wish, but no." And then he slipped me 100. I'm like, "Well, your blades are mine." Yours is quicker and time something else's. So. We had one night that was really busy. All the residents and their daughters were there, and one resident said to me, "If you quit, we're all going to kill ourselves." At first, I was like, "Wow, that's quite an honor you've bestowed upon me." Appreciate it. And then I was like, I mean, that's not really that scary of a threat. Like, kill yourself or die of natural causes. You know. I took a Lyft ride to a mic the other night, and the driver was like, Melania?
What?
No, Melina. She's like, oh, I think I've given you a ride before. Why didn't you get my name right, bitch? Thanks. A few years ago, I was pursuing acting and comedy because I love rejection. I took a couple theater classes as a kid. One of them, we did an icebreaker exercise, and we had to write down something about ourselves, and then we would guess who wrote what. And I wrote, my cat likes to hump my stuffed animal. I was on the road to comedy even then. The teacher was like, no way, this is completely uncalled for. I'm like, I know. He's getting more action than me. In my other class, we were coming up with an original play, and the teacher asked who wanted a special part. I raised my hand, and water break. The part was a cadaver that people stepped on. So he was like, lie down and play dead. I was born for this role. I found the right girl. I've been chasing that high for a while. As an adult, I took a acting private with a teacher, and she said to me, I mean this in the nicest way, but you're exhausting to be around. I'm so glad she meant it in the nicest way. Because I don't know what the meanest way would have been. I look around and she's snoring like I took a Lyft ride back home from the mic, and when we reached the house, the driver was like, oh, I forgot you were in the car. I was just driving along with the radio playing, and yeah, that's really funny. So, help. I am in therapy. Cool.
Therapy is great.
Yeah. My first therapist fired me because I wasn't improving fast enough. Didn't know what else to do. I'm the kind of person that doesn't get something right the first time, and therapy was no exception. Guess she doesn't care about late bloomers. My second therapist, he fell asleep during my sessions. He woke up and was like, oh, I had a big sandwich before this. I was like, it's okay. I understand. I didn't. But in my defense, he was hot. That was therapeutic in and of itself. My third therapist seemed like she was too invested in me. Like, I feel like I almost made her cry. Not quite, but I told my dad that, and he was like, well, that probably means she was listening. Yikes. I called her after a vacation to schedule another appointment. She never called me back. That week, though, I noticed that she liked 3 of my TikToks. It was a proud moment. It's like, I guess I can make my therapist laugh. So I think I got something going with this comedy here. A few months later, she had taken her lights down. The fucking blow. Doesn't she know I'm in therapy? Great. Therapist I have now, going steadily, I think, which is concerning because I'm just waiting for the other shoe to fall. Because life can throw you curveballs. I was born early. I was eager to be independent from my mom. But the doctor came in and was like, she's gonna need a lot of help. And the way my mom was attuned to the doctor, eyes and ears open, taking notes. They should have given me a lifetime supply of umbilical cords. I'm telling you. We were on a family vacation and I was just shooting the shit and saying that I missed my friends in Portland. And my mom was like, yeah, but do you think they miss you, honey? She was trying to help, like the doctor said. Trying to help me ruminate on whether I'm a bitch or not. When I'd come home from play dates growing up, she'd be like, so, did Rachel invite you over? Did she initiate you? No, I just busted down her door. Play with me. Yeah. Again, she was just trying to help. Help me ruminate on whether people like me. I am old enough to have moved out and then moved back in with my parents. When I was thinking about moving back in, my dad was pretty adamant about me not moving back in. And I was like, I get it, but your options are I move back in or you help plan a funeral. We made the wrong choice. When I moved back in, my mom, I guess, was trying to be more friends than mom. Trying. And so she said, can I tell you something that's not a criticism? Yes, please. She was like, it's all take with you. you don't think about me at all. I was like, well, I guess you can't. 'Cause that was criticism. Thank you so much. I have OCD, anxiety, and depression. Triple threat. Or, okay. So I was putting my meds in my pill canister, and my mom was like, "Do you think the pills are working?" And this wasn't the first time she'd asked me that, so I guess she didn't like my first answer. I'm thinking, well, while I'm living under this roof, like, I think the pills are doing their damnedest. Kudos. Are any of you from divorced parents? Cool. I'm not. I am just as surprised as you are. They're still together. I've been waiting 20 years for them to get divorced. The main question for me has been, if they do, which one am I going to live with? Who can I stand for? Are they going to make me choose? Like, do they want joint custody? I don't drive, so there's a chance they'll see each other at pick up and drop off. But whoever it is, I have done some research making sure that whoever moves out of the house, their home allows cats. We're good. The three of us were in the kitchen one morning. My mom and dad got into a disagreement, and my dad left the room, and my mom said to me, creepily, "Only 20 more years." Did I just become an accomplice? So what is the significance of 20? Why wait? He's right there. It's a big house, but take your shot. Pun intended. I am close with my sister. A few years ago, I gave her a framed photograph of the two of us, and a couple months later, she gave it back. It was great, because there was a perfect place for it in the trash can. Yesterday was her 1-year wedding anniversary. I don't know why, but I always feel like there should be an applause break. She didn't celebrate though because they're already divorced. Before the wedding, or up until the wedding, I was getting to know her now ex-wife, and I was like, yeah, I think she'll be a cool older sister. Or, scratch that, cool other mom. She is 30 years my sister's senior. Yeah, I mean, I was okay with that. If you remember, I really enjoyed working at the dyeing industry. And I ended up liking her more than my biological family. So I was like, yeah, you're welcome. After the divorce, she unfriended me on Facebook. The fuck did I do? But it's still friends. with my mom and my sister. So now she really feels like family. If you hadn't picked up on it, I like cats. When we were kids, my parents got us 2 cats. I thought we could share, but my sister was like, I'm gonna be the mom of this one because she's quick and smart like me. And you'll be the mom of this cat because he's slow and dumb like you. Well, I am a slower person, but at least I didn't rush into a marriage. Up until a couple years ago, I was in a serious relationship with my cat. I called him my cat boyfriend. Thank you. 11 years, my longest one to date. His too. He bit me and scratched me to pieces and told me when he was going to go to the bathroom. Sometimes we actually matched up. That was interesting. And he made me sit with him while he ate. I got a tattoo of him and told him he had to get one of me. Like, it's the rules. We got him to a tattoo parlor, but he pussied out. It's too big of a commitment. A week after he passed, I got another cat. After a couple months, we went on a family vacation, and the cat said, "This is a perfect time to die." You didn't want to consult me on that or something? Okay. I mean, it was a rebound, but like, I was starting to like her. So now I'm getting 2 cats when I get cats. One as a backup. So Milo is my emotional support cat. Ziggy is Milo's emotional support cat. And Ziggy has an emotional support little white rope. I'm hoping that relationship doesn't go sideways. But I mean, he doesn't have thumbs, so can't tie knots, right? Right? He guards it with his. Let me tell you. But I have dated humans. I mean, some are they human? It was debatable, but I peaked when I was in preschool. I got married. His name was Michael White. I like to say it in case he's here. Michael. White. I know the divorce pretty hard. I just ended up gorging on PB&Js, and we broke up on a swing set, so it just freaked really loud. I was single for a while after that. I love that joke. Then I had my first situationship, He's dead. To me. I broke up with him over text, and he sent me a thumbs up. So what do you think is a good grace period between that and him posting Mel Gibson shouting "Freedom" on Facebook? I guesstimated about 2 minutes. My mom was like, "Oh, you must be devastated." Yeah, because that's how people who are devastated act. Yeah. Also, you could have broken up with me. Okay. It's fine. My second situationship, I was messaging a guy who had just recently left the job we both worked at. So after a few months of messaging, he said, "If given the chance, I would fuck you in a New York minute." It's like, New York minute? Well, that's fancy. Top shelf. I'm more of a Midwest 15. He then said, if we do the deed, you will likely fall in love with me. My girlfriends were like, "Run." I walked fast. So a couple years ago, I was on a podcast with my now going on 2 years boyfriend. Okay. Yeah, 2022, we were on a podcast, and afterwards we exchanged socials, and then didn't talk to each other for 2 years. I enjoy playing the long game. Zero interest. Until fall of 24, I posted on Facebook, "Hey, who wants to set me up with someone great?"
Oh.
He messaged me being like, "I could set you up with me." I'm like, wow, that line is killer. All right. I did postpone the first date because of aforementioned anxiety, but he's still here, so that says something. One of the tendencies of OCD is to seek reassurance, and so I like to play this really fun game with my boyfriend, in which I say, if I wasn't in therapy, I would ask, "You still like me?" But since I am in therapy, we're gonna pretend I didn't say that. I want to win. When we, right before we started dating, my mom was like, "Never settle." I'm like, "So, following your footsteps."
Right.
Good. As we were dating, I was telling my dad that he likes me and thinks I'm worth it. The guy. I mean, what? I don't know. No, I mean, he does too. Oh. And my dad was like, jokingly, he was like, "Wow, I wonder what he sees in you." Well, his joke bombed that day. He's in a humor class of his own. One where jokes don't land. We recently moved in together. Thank you. I'm just not good at saying thank you. That's why it sucks. I'm terrible at it. We moved in together, and when we were talking about it, I messaged my oldest friend, and she was like, "Wow, that's huge. But sounds awesome if you're both into it." No, it was gonna be a hostage situation. He was gonna have to huff and puff to get me out of my parents' house. But he did. Folks, the first morning that I woke up at the new place, I received a missed call and a voicemail from a stranger who was like, "Stop calling me at 5 in the fucking morning, you fucking cunt." Okay. As long as you don't call me late for dinner. Maybe try a little bit. You've all been fantastic. Thank you for coming out. It's been our show.